Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. Today's topic is going to be 11 things you need to know if you get a DWI, a DUI, or an OUI. First, I want to read what I have been reading since I think 3-4 days ago, and it's very important that I read this every day because it is something to take to heart. My name is Ralf Friedrichs, and I'm the addiction recovery coach and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today show. Let me just fix this. As an addiction recovery coach, let me share this about substance abuse, and let me be crystal clear on what I'm going to say. I want to leave an everlasting impression upon you all. Let's fix this. Imagine you've been buried alive. Let's say you know you're laying in the coffin, but you also know you're not dead. You don't know how to open the coffin and push the enormous weight of the dirt that sits on top of the lid. You think of giving up and just waiting for death to arrive. But you also think of banging on the coffin so that maybe you will unsettle the dirt above. And then maybe, just maybe, someone will notice and start digging their way down to help you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of substance abuse, otherwise known as alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it completely on your own, but yet you don't know how to get help. In reality, there are people who can help standing nearby your grave, but you don't know that. You think you're going to die exactly where you are laying in that coffin. Usually, though, people don't think of death when they're habitually using drugs. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be good at repressing the fear of death. I often ask my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you, my friends, might OD? With this, I leave you with one thought. Don't be that person laying in the coffin, banging for someone to hear. Make the move now, make the move today by calling 1-844-405-HELP, and I will help take your life back before your life is gone. Remember, a sober today makes a better tomorrow. Let's give a big shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. You can find him at 516-485-2741, 516-485-2741. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach. He is a life coach like I am. He will always help you today and tomorrow. He nor I will never ever worry about your yesterday, talk about your yesterday, because you know what? It really doesn't matter, folks, where you've been. It matters where you are going. So get a hold of Larry Geis, 516-485-2741. Let Larry Geis help you take your life back. GlobalEyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money, folks. So many people have contacted me and said, listen, Ralph, thanks so much for doing those videos on life, on substance abuse, on self-esteem issues, on depression. But you know what? I would be able to see your videos better if I had a better pair of glasses. Well, folks, the answer is right here. Right here in this video, I will tell you, if you go to www.globaleyeglasses.com, let them focus on saving you money, order glasses, and I can help you place that order. If you need plastic frames, metal frames, children's, men's, or ladies' frames, they have all of them. If you need progressive, no-line bifocals, line bifocals, they have them all at Global Eyeglasses. If you want transitions, photochromatics, or polarized lenses, they have them at globaleyeglasses.com. If you want your lenses to be thinner, if you want coating for night driving for the glare, if you want UV 400 coating, they have them at globaleyeglasses.com. But you need to make the first move. Two things you should do. If you don't need my help, just go directly to www.globaleyeglasses.com and start saving money. Now, if you would like me to help you, you can text me at 631-599-021, or you can call me directly at 844-405-HELP, and I will help place your order on www.globaleyeglasses.com, and together we will focus on saving you money. 11 things you need to know if you get a DWI, DUI, or a OUI. Some serious penalties like losing your license and possibly even your car insurance coverage can follow a DUI or a DWI conviction. Here are some tips for dealing with this situation if hopefully you won't be in it. Whether called driving intoxicated, otherwise known as DWI, driving under the influence, otherwise none of the words, DUI, or operating under the influence, otherwise known as OUI. The crime commonly known as drunk driving has some serious penalties. Given that, here are the 11 things you need to know about the process that surrounds any one of those three, DWI, DUI, or OUI arrest, and what you can expect to happen after the arrest or conviction. If you want to maintain affordable coverage after a DUI or DWI, get auto insurance quotes and compare rates from companies that if you need to locate them, Google them. Number one, the basics of driving while intoxicated aren't that basic. A DWI, DUI, or OUI arrest means you're caught driving a vehicle under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or illegal drugs. And it's not always a car or a truck. You can also get a DWI while driving other vehicles like ATVs, golf carts, and even bicycles, friends. In many cases, DWI starts when a police car officer pulls someone over because he or she thinks they're driving erratic and impaired. Afterwards, the officer conducts various sobriety and chemical tests, such as breathalyzers, which measures the blood alcohol concentration, or a BAC. These tests determine whether or not the driver is under the influence. You can get a DWI if you're pulled over for some other reason besides erratic driving. Also, could be not using signals, headlights out, making a right on red. As long as your BAC is 0.08 or higher, you, my friends, can be charged with driving while DWI, DUI, or OUI. Number two, DWI, DUI, or OUI aren't always interchangeable. Whether drunk driving is officially referred to as a DWI or DUI or OUI often depends on the state. In some states, for example, only DWI is used. In other states, DWI is used to refer to people who drive under the influence of alcohol, while DUI is used for people under the influence of drugs. Number three, don't be surprised if your car insurance rates are raised to the ceiling as a result of your DUI or DWI. Along with the above, you can expect to pay more for car insurance due to drunk driving conviction, since you will now be a high-risk driver. You may even have to shop around for a new car insurance company because they might even drop you. Your current one could drop you once they learn about your conviction. Number four, drunk driving isn't just about alcohol consumption. DWI, DUI, and OUI aren't only tied to driving under the influence of alcohol. Operating a vehicle after consuming other substances can result in arrest and conviction too, and it could be substances that are legally prescribed by a doctor, but you had too many of them, like painkillers. This refers to both legal and illegal drugs, including illicit, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs even, such as NyQuil. Number five, DWIs usually aren't felonies, although they are sometimes capable of being felonies, so there's always exceptions. The first time you get a DWI or DUI or OUI, it will probably be a misdemeanor and not a felony. However, some situations cause first-time DWIs to be felonies. For example, if you kill or severely injure someone while driving under the influence, that's a felony. Habitual DWIs, 2 or 3 more, becomes a felony. Number 6, you can tackle your arraignment by yourself, but bring in a lawyer for afterwards. After you get a DWI arrest, your next step is likely to go to court for your arraignment. Well, you'll stand in front of a judge, and the judge will ask you, how do you plead? And by all means, always plead not guilty, whether you did it or not. Because if you plead guilty, the judge can and probably will sentence you right there and then. So consult an attorney. There, you'll be formally charged with a crime, and you must respond to the charge guilty or not guilty. After that, you'll want to bring a lawyer at least to assist you. An attorney can help you decide if you should plead guilty, fight your charges in a trial, or ask for a plea bargain. Number 7. Be prepared to lose your driver's license. I know it sounds harsh, but be prepared. If you are charged with a DWI or a DUI, it's pretty safe to bet that your driver's license will at least be suspended. In most cases, the arresting officer will take your license and then give you a temporary one. This temporary license has an expiration date that matches your appearance at the DMV hearing. If you don't request a hearing, your license will be suspended automatically. If you successfully plead your case at the hearing, then you may get your license back to you. But if you fail to plead your case, your license will probably be suspended for some amount of time, usually 6 months to a year. The length of time depends on the number of factors, including your BAC, which is your alcohol level, and if you had any prior DWI convictions. Number 8. To get your license back, you'll probably have to go through a treatment program. It could be as simple as going to AA, mandatory AA meetings, to possibly outpatient clinic, to possibly inpatient clinic, to possibly incarceration. The most common route of getting your driver's license back is some kind of education, therapy, or treatment program. That said, successful completing one of these programs doesn't mean you're allowed to drive again. That's usually the case, but not always. If the court forces you to take a course and you don't complete it, you won't be getting your license back anytime soon, so make sure whatever the court tells you to do, that you do it. Number 9, it's possible but unlikely that you could lose your car too. If this isn't your first drunk driving conviction, the judge may impound your car for a certain period of time. He or she could even order you to forfeit, get rid, or basically terminate your privilege to have that car. Luckily, there's only extreme circumstances that allows this to happen. Number 10, fines, jail time, and more also can be tied to a DWI conviction. Along with losing your license and possible having to install an ID in your car, there are other penalties you could get if you are convicted of a DWI or a DUI. A couple of additional examples are fines, hefty ones I might say, not that I know from experience, but I do know people that had them. Jail time, probation, court-ordered use of scram bracelet, a breathalyzer machine built into your car. Number 11, your DWI or DUI will stick you with in your record for quite some time. Once your DWI conviction is official, it will remain on your record. As a result, it may show up in the background checks that have potential employers seeing them. It may last for at least the next 5 years, but the actual length of time varies by state. Subsequent arrests are a common reason convictions stick around longer. Specifically, if you are convicted of a second or third DWI, prior conviction will likely affect your sentence in even years after they happen. A quick rundown on the 11 things you need to know about DWI. Number 1, the basics of driving while intoxicated aren't that basic. There are so many factors. There's the factor of the alcohol factor. There's the factor of a legal drug factor. There's the factor of legal drugs like over-the-counter or prescribed. They all affect your BAC, your alcohol level. They also bring the different types of categories such as DWI, DUI, OUI. Number 2, DWI, DUI, OUI aren't always interchangeable. Whether drunk driving is officially referred to as a DWI, DUI, or OUI often depends on the state. In some states, for example, only DWI is used. Other states, DWI is used to refer to people who drive under the influence of alcohol, while DUI is used to refer to people who drive under the influence. Number 3, don't be surprised if your car insurance rates are raised, if not dropped. A lot of insurance companies, maybe not after the first, but the second DWI will drop you. Then it becomes very hard to find another car insurance company. Number 4, drunk driving just isn't about alcohol consumption. It's about illegal drug consumption. It's about even prescription over the counter or prescribed by a doctor consumption. Either way, no matter what puts you in some state of mind where you're not fully alert, whether it's illegal, legal, or alcohol, can be land you a charge of DWI, DUI, or OUI. Number 5, DWIs are not felonies, although they are some exceptions to the rule. For the first time around, usually it's not a felony, but should you hit somebody, hurt somebody, kill somebody, or have multiple DWIs, it will become a felony. Number 6, you can tackle your arraignment by yourself, but after the follow-up arraignment, you should always have an attorney. Folks, when you go in front of a judge at your arraignment, never ever plead guilty. Whether you are guilty or not, don't plead guilty at your arraignment. For one reason only. That allows the judge to sentence you right there. Consult an attorney after the arraignment. Find out, should you plead guilty, plea bargain, or fight the case. Number 7, be prepared to lose your driver's license. If you are charged with a DWI, DUI, or OUI, it's pretty safe to bet your driver's license at least will be suspended. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, but it will be suspended. It's almost equivalent, and I don't want to say this, but it's equivalent to a timeout. You need to stay off the road to get you back into check. Number 8, to get your license back, you'll probably have to go through a treatment program. That could include outpatient, mandatory AA meetings, mandatory treatment from an inpatient. It could even mean incarceration. Number 9, it's possible but unlikely that you could lose your car too. Doesn't happen often, but if it's involved in some sort of felony accident, or if multiple DWIs, DUIs, or OUIs, your car will be not only impounded, but probably taken. Number 10, fines, jail time, and more also can be tied to DWI conviction, along with losing your license and possible having to install an ID in your car, otherwise sometimes also known as a breathalyzer machine in your car. There are penalties that you could get for convicted of DWI or DUI. A couple of additional examples are fines, and they could be skyrocketed fines, jail time, probation, and court-ordered scram bracelet, and that would be for some states only. I don't believe New York State has the scram bracelet. Last but not least, your DWI, DUI will stick with you for quite some time. Once your DWI conviction is official, it will remain on your record. As a result, it will show up on background checks, whether it comes to for employment, new car insurance, sometimes even on credit. People that are checking your credit might find out because your car insurance was dropped, and then they look into why it was dropped, and they see that. Most places, the DMV records are 5 to 7 years. However, it can be longer in some cases. Folks, now that you've heard the 11 things you should know about DWI, DUI, OUI, isn't it about time you stop driving under the influence? Isn't it about time you don't get behind the wheel and not only put your life in danger, but you are driving a weapon that could kill someone, innocent people? Isn't it about time you made the changes today? Call me at 844-405-HELP. Let me help you take your life back. And it all starts with the simple thought of a sober today promises a better tomorrow. If you stay sober today while you're watching the show, until you go to bed then sober, wake up sober, start again. 24 hours at a time, folks. A sober today promises a better tomorrow. Start thinking positive, start hanging around with positive people, start being positive, and you will get nothing but positive results in return. Teach your children, by all means, to say no to drugs and alcohol. Lead by example. Be the hero and the role model you were designated by God to be. If you don't want your children to drink, smoke, or use profanity, it is up to you to stop doing it yourself, especially in front of them. Folks, I hope to God, no matter where you are watching me, that you have the best day of your life. But I hope and I always pray that you all have a sober rest of your life. And may God bless you.